Yes, yes, yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a fantastic episode of Unforced Errors, the absolute best fantasy and daily fantasy sports podcast in the business. Jerry McKenna couldn't be here tonight because he partied so hard with Santa Claus on Saturday night at the 7th Annual Toy Drive at Flagship Brewery that he is still...
He's questionable.
He's questionable.
He's questionable to return.
Definitely not like on the injured reserve.
I wanted to say IR, but he'll be back. He's day to day.
He is day to day. And if Jerry was on your fantasy team, you would be furious with him because he was a game time decision.
Yeah. I think he'd be good to go by Sunday.
Yeah, I think so too. No, absolutely. By Sunday. Yeah, a full week.
If we were on an early week, I'd be like, did not practice, probably not putting him in.
It's probably for the best that we didn't have a show last week when Jerry and you were both available because I know you guys were both sick. You both kind of had a cold. So it's good that you're feeling better now. And Jerry felt so good that he went out and partied. But it was a shit week for fantasy sports considering the NFL schedule makers decided to put everybody and their mom on bye. That didn't help anything.
No, that was something like I don't do season-long fantasy because my brain doesn't work. I'm not good at predicting the future. What is it like when you're a person?
Clairvoyant.
No, I'm not clairvoyant like that far ahead. This is why my life is all fucked up, right? Like if I could have like planned for the future, then I'd be probably better. But yeah. But it is something that I like remember. What is that?
No, I'm sorry. So let me just clarify. Apparently, my phone automatically connected to the Bluetooth of the Rhodes mixer. And because I got tired of listening to the regular Siri voice, I changed it to like a Hindi man. Mm-hmm. So, whenever somebody calls, it's this Hindi man telling me so it was like, Wally is calling. So I apologize. Please continue.
You didn't put your phone on silent?
No, I'm going to take care of it now.
Oh, it was a Bluetooth. I see.
Oh, my God.
That scared me. I was like, who's in here? Anyway, no, it was a crazy week. But I will say, it did feel like a week where things were starting to kind of get back to normal, maybe. I don't know. Russell Wilson looked like a quarterback again. Tom Brady got, cream, though.
Yes. Right when you thought Tom Brady was,
I thought
back.
He was, post-Giselle, on the right track, and then he dealt with the 49ers. But the 49ers don't have, a quarterback right now. They're, on their backup.
So, who is the best quarterback, right? You had a big quarterback injury last week. Kyler Murray went down.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. And then I don't understand how Tua's not on the injury report because something's definitely wrong with that kid. Did you watch that Dolphins game? I
did not watch the Dolphins game. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so, we get that but he's not even, he has 0 rushing yards on the season. I think his prop bet was 8. The whole thing, Dolphins don't run the ball. He could not throw the ball. He couldn't throw it. Could not throw it. When he did throw it, he threw it to nothing. And then...
And he's not hurt?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's got to be hurt?
He's got to... I think you can't see the hurt.
Oh.
Is he remember when he died a month ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That happened.
Right. So I'm something's something might be wrong.
Absolutely. But the NFL, they'll just keep pushing them out there.
Yeah, they're playing the Bills this week, so that'll be exciting.
He'll be an analyst before you know it. This is an exciting week, though.
Wait. And we also didn't talk about the Broncos and the Texans.
Oh,
we kind of talked about the Broncos, but the Texans almost beating the Cowboys was something else.
In the state of Texas, that's a very big deal.
Big deal.
If you don't like the Cowboys, you root for the Texans kind of deal.
Or if you just randomly take plus 1,100 money lines.
When those things exist out there on Sunday morning when you get out of church, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you press the button on.
Yeah.
And also last week, the bookie was high on part of Jerry's parlay bet, which was the Bengals and the Browns. Mm-hmm. And the
Bengals and the Chargers.
Right.
Yes.
So he was happy with the Bengals.
Right.
So that came out correctly, but the Browns game did not.
The Chargers game came out correctly, though.
Yes.
And the Seahawks ruined my life.
The Seahawks ruined your life.
Yeah.
Geno Smith?
Yeah, was playing Darnold. It was Jets on Jets.
Oh.
And Darnold won.
Previous That's tough.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Jerry didn't come up. Did Jerry make that same mistake?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in his bet.
It all makes sense now.
But also, like, I just like the Seahawks more than I like the Panthers. I like Geno Smith more than I like Darnold. Remember when Darnold was out for mononucleosis?
Absolutely.
That's come on, Geno.
That was one of his biggest storylines in New York, was that he was a grown-ass man that got mono. How? How do you even do that?
It would just be
loser.
It would just, come up on the screen, out indefinitely. Mononucleosis.
I'd rather have a lot of other stuff go public for mono. What a lame-ass reason to sit out. My spleen's enlarged, guys, because I'm a loser.
Yeah, well, that's like Mariota's getting surgery, but, really, he got benched.
We don't even, if you want me to ask Jeeves who Mariota's backup is, we could do that later when you get to that point. But
I remembered it when I was downstairs. So, anyway, but talking about the Seahawks, we have Thursday Night Football with the 49ers and the Seahawks, which after watching them just destroy two teams in a row, their defense is great, but it depends on their quarterback and who they have. Purdy's playing, I don't know. Samuel's out.
49ers went from being, oh my God, these guys are about to go on an unbelievable run and then they lost both quarterbacks.
I mean, Seahawks struggled against Panthers defense isn't bad by any means, but 49ers is obviously on some sort of steroid crack thing.
You think?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Is this how Jerry feels whenever I'm on my phone texting and he's trying to talk?
No, I'm trying to bring up your week 15. There it is.
Oh, you didn't print one out for yourself?
No.
Oh.
No, because you see the way it prints out yours?
Yeah.
It looks like it has been dragged through some sort of machine that doesn't want to print.
Yeah.
And it leaves this strange mark on it. So I was like, I'll just, I know how you like to have printouts. I'll just go with the phone.
All right. But anyway, so it's a 1-game slate. And I think McCaffrey obviously is a perfect captain pick, seeing as how their whole offense is in flux.
Plus, it's a division
Smith,
game, so you figure that it's going to be a running game, mostly.
You can run all over the Seahawks, but you can't totally run all over the 49ers.
I wouldn't say that they're going to have an easy time passing on them, though, either, right after.
Right, but they're going to have to move the ball, and I do think that they have. I mean, it is crazy but I feel like Brady's just got some curse on him anyway. So when that stuff happens, I don't carry it over to Geno lost too, and I just think that it'll be more competitive. Plus Lockett, Metcalf, they're all kind of I don't know. I have more faith in them, but I don't think it's going to be anything great, which is why I think taking Gould, the kicker, as captain is an interesting play.
Super interesting. Plus, it's Thursday Night Football, right? Guys are on short rest, so sometimes you never know how they're going to play, and a kicker could be really solid play.
I think especially for an offense like the 49ers, Gould might be one of the highest scoring people on that team. But I also think that the Seahawks do have a pretty high-octane offense, but they also have a lousy D.
Well, it's a beautiful night here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as you could clearly tell. We're talking fantasy football playoff special. Kate Herman, a.k.a. Scotch the Cat, breaking it down right now.
Yeah.
Doing an amazing job. Do you want to take a second and look at your NBA parlays?
No.
Okay. Just going to leave that in
no.
Leave the chips where they may.
We're going to do this. So we have Saturday games.
Colts at Vikings. Colts given 4.
Yeah, so it's a 2-game slate if you just play Saturday. I'm sure there's probably a Thursday to Saturday, so I don't actually know. But anyway, Colts, Vikings, Matt Ryan is still starting. Why? I don't know.
Matty Ice. He's been dead for 3 years, but it's okay. He showed a spark of brilliance at the beginning of the year, right? But everybody knew.
I mean, no, but he got benched and then brought back, and I don't know. I haven't seen anything that I'm crazy about. The Vikings, on the other hand, put on a show, and I very much still love Jefferson and Thielen. Even though Thielen was being a little droppy pants, I think he might have actually gotten Did he get injured or was it Boyd? My lineup sucked last week.
Do you think the Vikings have like a legitimate Super Bowl run in them?
I mean, they were undefeated until last week.
Right. Well, they are the Vikings, though. That is a
sure, but it's like right now, like it's the
history
but it's the Vikings and the Lions that are like.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
How that shit works out.
And like Lions are like a legitimate, and also here's the thing, like Lions are a legitimately good team this season, and also Justin Jefferson catches insane circus passes from Kirk Cousins. Like Kirk Cousins deserves none of his passing yards without Justin Jefferson somehow coming up with these like.
I gotta like give a lot of credit to like how like certain colleges are called like Penn State is called linebacker U. I gotta give a lot of credit to Louisiana State University for the wide receivers that those guys put out, and this guy Justin Jefferson is like an Odell Beckham without head problems.
Yeah.
Like he is
incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? Like every week you wish you could watch a Vikings game.
That's like there's like this one kid on San Jose State University who like their quarterback throws like wobbly ass passes, and like this wide receiver should like be a first round draft because he catches
he's catching it. Right.
Yeah. I'm like, how could you possibly catch that?
Well, Justin Jefferson's making like circus catches against the best defenders in the world.
Yeah.
So the Vikings and the whole Midwest is on fire. In that game, Colts Vikings, we don't like the Colts quarterback. What's the best, most efficient way that the Vikings are they going to be like pass heavy, run heavy that game? Like,
I mean, Cook hasn't really done anything all year for fantasy.
Right.
So, I mean,
go with your boy, fire up Jefferson, fire up the Jefferson train.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I mean, Thielen too. I mean, the Colts have a very solid defense, but they also are worse. And I just think that Jefferson's matchup proof.
I just like your notes on this game. Matt Ryan's still starting.
Because I was like, well, this game's done for me. Like,
I almost feel like if you were the owner, you would just like leave that memo on the GM's desk. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, Hawkinson.
Right.
I love Hawkinson always.
Solid tight end selection, and usually fairly affordable, right? When you talk about daily fantasy.
He's getting a little bit pricier. He's definitely not like a cheap
like
tight end.
6,000.
Sure. Yeah. He's getting to the price of like a receiver. But yeah, and Pittman is like always around. Pascal. If you want to take Colts. I mean, Vikings defense isn't anything to be scared of, so.
It's not. Justin, it's in a dome.
Oh, my God. Taylor. I always forget that Taylor's on the Colts because last season he was like everybody's hero, and this season he's stuck on a loser team.
Yeah, it's tough.
He's still good, though, and especially on like a slate like this. I like I'm more excited for the Ravens-Browns game because I hate Deshaun Watson, and I hate that he's a quarterback, and I don't think he's as good as Brissett was from like an energy standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But Amari Cooper is still Amari Cooper, And
Amari Cooper is having one of the statistically best wide receiver of the season. Like,
and I forget about him
every week.
Every time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do only because, listen, like you just said, look at his quarterback situation, and he's playing in Cleveland, Ohio. His stat line is filthy. Had he been doing that in a big market, like, you hear his name every week.
Like on the Cowboys?
Yes. It's very. Do you think he's happy in Cleveland?
I mean, I think he was unhappy in Dallas.
Right.
So.
No, I know he was unhappy in Dallas. Do you think?
I think like Kareem Hunt would be like so fun to hang out with.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see them just like having a time playing video games and shit.
They seem very mild mannered. So.
Yeah.
Ravens, Browns, and that game is at Cleveland.
It's at Cleveland. It has a lower total than Colts Vikings, which like I get it, but I also don't think it'll be that. I think that there's points to be scored. I don't know who's quarterbacking for the Ravens. I think Huntley is practicing in like a limited fashion, so that's good, I guess. And if it's not Huntley, it's Hudley or like the rookie.
It's like that game. I understand why the spread is 37. Well, I mean, it just says that it's 32 degrees, but the winds are at 17 miles per hour.
17 miles per hour.
That kind of takes away the kicking game, though. 17's a lot.
We had this discussion last time.
We did.
Remember when in Buffalo you said it was 14 miles an hour, like it was a big deal, and I don't think that that's a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
No, I think 70 miles an hour would be something.
I remember. I just, you know what? Maybe it's because every time I have a Giants kicker, they're kicking in the Meadowlands in a wind tunnel.
Yeah,
where if you have
different.
3 mile per hour winds, it's horrible. So maybe that's what's wrong with me.
Yeah, or it's just the Giants kicker.
Yeah, or just my life in general, but you got it.
Donovan Peoples-Jones is another shout-out guy. If Njoku's healthy, that'd be cool. Ravens. I just think, I get why it's low score. Well, it's just a defense. Like they're setting it up to be like a defensive battle. I have like a new thing where I like to take a sacks prop.
Yeah, I mean.
And Myles Garrett is like my guy on that.
I could see that picked. And again, division game. Always low scoring. 2 teams that play each other twice a year. I could see it being under. They're definitely not scoring more than 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing like a 2-game slate in here, or like if you have any of these people, like if you have the Vikings, like I mean, obviously, like take any receiver. I like Osborne in that game too. Ravens, I don't know who like Duvernay.
It's difficult. Their wide receiver core is
But the
shoddy.
Browns defense is banged up. Like, I mean, unless like Ward's back or like, yeah, I don't know. I think that points could be scored in that game. And there's like some viable options. Obviously, Andrews is like.
Maybe Lamar gets busy.
Okay. I mean, I can't see Lamar playing this game.
No?
Doesn't seem like it. It seems like Huntley's like the closest to being ready.
Oh my goodness!
I know quarterbacks are like really getting destroyed. Which
Dropping
brings us
like
to
flies.
Dolphins and the Bills.
Which is the best, if I may, because your notes genuinely make me laugh out loud. It says Dolphins +7 at Bills, spread 42. Tua died a month ago and hasn't recovered. Please continue.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, that last game was incredible. I just don't understand what was happening in his head. I mean, I took Waddle, obviously, and that sucked. Tyreek Hill picked up a fumble and then ran it in for a touchdown. I mean, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. The dude has 8 rushing yards on the season, and then all of a sudden is like running the ball. All of a sudden, like the San Francisco wide receivers that they got, whatever, they're amazing running backs, but like I never even remember their name or consider them in fantasy because they just don't have a running game. And all of a sudden, the entire thing was just like if you need to see it, because he literally one time he throws the ball like he's throwing a pass to somebody, and it just goes like into the field to nobody. It was wild. And then he would like go to pass it and then just like run it. Something's wrong.
So Tua doesn't know what day it is. SOS.
Yeah, SOS to like, I don't know. I hope that he's better because I do want this Bills game to be good because I just like them and I like the 2 offenses. But Josh Allen's also playing through an injury. So, I mean, every time he like gets knocked or whatever, I'm always like, that's why I can't take him right now because I get so scared that he's going to go down in the middle of the game.
Big trees do fall hard, and guys his size definitely are not playing 100% healthy at this late in the season, so I'm sure that he's playing through some injury. It sucks that if Tua is, like, definitely dead, that's not going to be a good game. But if he comes out,
I mean,
it could be great.
I mean, look, if Tua is at all dazed and confused like he was last week, like, then just put your entire remortgage your house and put it on the Bills. I mean, the only way to beat the Bills is to like be able to score.
Yes. No, you can't turn it into a defensive game. Absolutely not.
Like, they will score.
Well, Josh Allen is arguably every year in the MVP conversation, so he's a quarterback that moves the ball downfield. So, yeah, if you're a smart bettor, you'll stay away from that game. And if there's any players, you're saying Josh Allen might be hurt. Tua is definitely playing hurt. Are there any players that you love in that game where you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe you could take a flyer on this guy?
Yeah, Stephon Diggs.
Always Diggs, but he's so expensive.
So?
Okay.
So you love Justin Jefferson.
Diggs. You love Diggs. So just like Diggs and Jefferson and build your team around that.
Well, Jefferson's on a different day.
Thursday.
No, Saturday.
Oh, we got games Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday?
Correct.
Wow. People in relationships are going to, really feel it.
Depends if you're in the right relationship.
And it's holiday season. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot on the table right now.
I guess so. Yeah, because it's about to get,
shit's about to get real.
Busy. No, every week. I personally, this is not a game I am targeting for Saturday or for Sunday. It's not my favorite one just because of the quarterback injuries. I don't trust Josh Allen enough, so I'm not gonna pay up for Diggs this week. Probably, I think that there's other better options. But if he's on your fantasy team and a season long, you kind of have to because.
No, I know.
Who else are you putting in?
I too.
Unless you have
Diggs.
him and Jefferson, in which case do that.
At that point, you're a fantasy god as well, though.
But I think either of these defenses is good. I think Bill's defense. I cannot get over how bad Tua looked. It makes no sense to me. So if they say he's okay.
They say he's good. Then he must be good.
Speaking of people that don't have quarterbacks, the Falcons have their rookie playing now. He seemed good.
What kind of surgery does Mariota have to get?
I think it's on his ego because he got benched.
God bless you, my son. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even write your joke. Are you asking me? The bookie might be downstairs.
All right.
I hope. Otherwise, who knows what's happening?
Falcons are playing the Saints.
First of all, can I just say that this is a shit game, but it may be interesting just because it's a division game. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that
Ritter could be entertaining.
I think that Andy Dalton is so good at being a loser. Look what he did. Look what he did last week.
They were personally attacking him.
They were going to win that game. They were going to win that game. I was like, this is done. Saints win. And he managed to just be a loser and lose the game. So Andy Dalton's going to make this rookie look like a hero. That's easy. He sucks, dude. Again, this is not my favorite.
It's
game
weird
target.
though too because they're saying
Kamara hasn't been the same Kamara.
I would expect this game to be under 40 points in an over-under, and they're saying 43.5.
They have the. If they do things how you're supposed to do them, then they're both high-powered offenses, but they just aren't because they have Dalton.
Oh, I agree. It's kind of like having me at quarterback. Incredibly immobile. You're going to get one in every 6 throws really good.
It's an easier matchup for Dalton. So
absolutely, he could.
This could be a good game.
Right?
Olave,
that's what I mean. It could be.
See, Olave should be rookie of the year because he's another Justin Jefferson kind of person who you're just how did you catch that stupid pass from loser Dalton?
Doesn't make any sense, right? And if you had a good quarterback, what would your numbers actually be?
Right, exactly. He does the circus catches too. So I think that I don't really do the over under thing, but in terms of when I look at what I think is going to be high scoring.
Well, I don't usually
AKA what I'm going to target.
I won't say I do the over under thing or that whole gambling process too, but I do like to look at what they call the spread to say I guess is it going to be high scoring or defensive battle? That's
to see
all.
right, to see what players I'm going to take.
Exactly.
But I don't the numbers only I don't see them as numbers. I see them as you know what I mean? So yeah. So that's cool.
Eagles and Bears. The Eagles, man. They're 9-point favorites at Chicago.
But yeah, because they score a billion points a game.
Are they ever going to slow down? Or you think
no? I think
right?
no. I think that anybody who's surprised when the Eagles score 42 points on somebody, it's 42-17. I'm well, where have you been? And it's only because if you're not in the right market, then you don't get to watch all the games. But they're just stupid. AJ Brown is incredible.
I feel in terms of scoreboard ratio, they kind of score arena football numbers.
Yeah.
They're up and down the field quickly, but I don't.
Yeah.
Because
he can throw it, he can run it. They're all healthy.
Right. All I ever hear, though, is their offense. What is their defense like?
The defense is amazing.
Really? So it's not even their offense is just so good that they're running people
Darius
tirelessly off the field.
Slay is like one of like the best.
Because I saw something on the Instagram machine recently where Darius Slay said that he was like, FB and DB, I want to be wide receiver and catch passes.
But that's what but that's like what he said, right? Because they do though. Like their interception rate is so high.
That's crazy.
Like literally, like if you try to throw on them, like
he's showing he's got hands. Like he's not a defensive player. Like he has hands.
No. He not only is he that's what he was saying. He's like he was making a joke because like he is like he will pound you into the ground and make you drop the ball. Then he'll take it, run it for a touchdown. If you try to throw it, he'll catch it. You know what I mean? Like, dude's incredible. The Eagles are like
good at something. He's really good.
Yeah, the Eagles are like it's just hard. Like it's just if you take everybody takes Hurts every week. That's why he's so hard to take in daily fantasy. But it is such a lock. Like, I mean, they're just stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, right, where you don't want to take the guy that everybody else is taking, but when it's the best option, what choice do you have? Find, pay dirt somewhere else almost.
Well, no, because he's also pricey.
Super pricey.
Right. So you find like a cheaper quarterback that like is like the surprise one that also. It's like there's a difference between a no-brainer and then there's a difference of being good at DFS.
So you don't go with my man every week.
God, no. You would never win. You will never, ever, ever win like that. I mean, you could take Hurts and then just like fade everybody else on the Eagles maybe, I guess. I don't even know.
You just bet like you're from South Philly every week.
You would have to take somebody so obscure. Like, it's so chalky.
Okay. This is what I want to hear, and I think this is what other people want to hear. I'm literally taking notes. Continue.
Yeah. Because they're going to only have one quarterback. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you take a quarterback that 58% of the slate has, and you're already competing with half of the slate, you know what I mean?
What sucks is you've exhausted like 40% of your budget on your quarterback right there.
Well, you could exhaust the same price on like a wide receiver or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like a running back. But it's just that you only get one of them. So like you're automatically like in a large group. And so you'd have to get like highly creative to like get out of that group,
It's a big bind.
Yeah. So that's that. But the Eagles are just good. And the Bears lost to loser Rodgers. So fuck the Bears.
Aaron Rodgers.
I thought Fields was like actually getting somewhere. And then I was like.
It's weird though, because Aaron Rodgers, he was like leaving the field. He was like talking shit.
Well, yeah, because it's Green
Bay. To
Bay.
the Bears fans. Like, yo, I still own this place. What up? Like, he went from being
and he just got so lucky. He sucked the entire game. Actually, he didn't suck the entire game. He looked a little bit normal, but
it's just weird though, because he went from being like this melancholy guy all year, and then he beat the Bears at Soldier Field, and he turned into 10 years ago Aaron Rodgers barking as he's leaving the tunnel.
But it's two running quarterbacks, which is kind of neat. It could be interesting if you took like A.J. Brown and Montgomery and Fields, something like that. I don't know. Who does Fields even throw to right now? But
who does Fields even throw to? I don't know, because Mooney's out, right?
I think so, right? So I'm like, who is he throwing to? Who's their tight end? Kmet? No, he's on. Kmet's still there?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, because I don't really take Fields right now. And yeah, the Eagles are just gonna score on them.
All right, so there's a lot of people in the New York area that I guess just want to know if the Eagles are going to continue to do what they're doing. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, barring any something terrible happening. I like the Lions-Jets game a lot.
And the Lions, like you were mentioning earlier, are on fire. Mm-hmm. They're a legitimately good team right now at this point in the season. And the Jets find themselves in a position to make an attempt to make the playoffs, which is
But the Jets are also like a legitimately good team right now as long as Mike White.
As long as Mike White continues to play the way that he's been playing and no defenses, figure him out or anything like that. So this is probably the hype game of the week around town.
Around town for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's being played in New York.
So who do you like? Do you like Mike White this week?
No, but I don't take Mike White
ever.
I don't trust people that come in and out of a game.
Yep.
On DFS. But I'm like totally I think that it'll be like a fun game. and I said this week 1, and it has remained consistent every week except for like a week and a half. Lions is DFS gold. Like, they are always high scoring games.
Right.
They're always shootouts. You know, like
They have been, like you say, the Eagles put up a lot of points. The Lions put up a lot of points. And, like, further going down the road into the playoffs, an incredible playoff matchup would be Lions-Eagles.
Yeah.
Super entertaining. But, I mean, that's getting ahead of ourselves. This week is Lions-Jets. Game is in New York or New Jersey. What do you think's going to win? What do you got?
I don't know who's going to win, but I know I'm definitely taking, like, a fair amount of players from this game.
I like Swift a lot. He's been running his ass off lately.
He's definitely woken up a little bit. Jameson Williams is, like, a very interesting addition because St. Brown was another one of those, like, go-to locks. And now that he's back, it's like he's also very good, and it cuts into his targets, but it also makes the Lions, like, that much more dangerous if you're going, like, with who's going to win route. And then Zonovan Knight is, like, my running back pick of the week.
Oh.
He's cheap, slow owned, and
I like it.
And you can run all over Lions. And, you know, Carter might be back, but he's kind of their de facto number 1.
I like that.
Running back right now.
2 mile per hour winds this weekend, so watch out. Sorry. That's my game, though. What is that, 1 o'clock game?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So that'll be on TV. Reynolds finally got in the action on the Lions. That was nice to see.
And
love that guy.
St. Brown.
Oh, Conklin on the Jets is like another one?
Yes.
Yeah. What about St. Brown?
Well, I mean, is he still balling?
I literally just talked about that.
Yeah, okay. I was worried about these guys smoking cigars downstairs. It was bothering me.
Okay, yeah. Because I said that Jameson Williams coming back on the Lions is cutting into his – because he used to be a lock every week, and now it's like, you know, this new kid's cutting into his target share a little bit, but it makes the Lions that much more potent if you're into, like, who's going to win.
New kid. Got it. Did you see the catch that, like, the offensive lineman made last game for the Lions?
I mean, probably.
Like in motion, like, it was a ridiculous thing where, like, they sent an offensive lineman in motion, and the head coach was saying how he wasn't really paying attention to the play call. It was like a 2nd and 4, and he was looking at the crowd doing the wave, and his assistant coach was like, "Hey, coach, do you want to blah, 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 blah?" And, like, he didn't really pay attention to him. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he was, like, looking at the crowd, and he said, like, a second later, he saw his offensive lineman, like, going to, like, dive to catch a ball downfield, and, like, he caught it for the first down. And he was like, "Why the fuck is he throwing him the ball?" He's like, "You literally just said we should do that." And he was like, "Sorry, I was looking at the wave." And I was like, wow, all right, I think I like that guy even a little bit more now because I'm not a big fan of the wave, but I have been mesmerized by it before. So, I mean, he's a little bit more, you know, blue collar, but.
Well, when you're part of the wave, it's different than when you're part of the game. The wave is happening around.
Totally different. Yeah, it has to be mesmerizing.
Oh, I was going to say. Anyway, you have anything that you want to. Oh, Garrett Wilson is like the new St. Brown of this game, I think.
Yes. And Sauce Gardner. What do you think of him?
Fine.
Like, defensively, he's nowhere near any of the other elite defenders in the league.
No, I think he's very good. I think that.
All right.
But I don't care.
You don't give a shit.
I'm not doing defenses from this game.
Yeah, but
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Defense.
You don't think he's going to be able to lock down anybody like on the passing side of the ball?
It doesn't matter because if the other team has 28 points, it doesn't matter how many sacks you got.
All right. I like it. Good enough for me.
I mean, unless you score like a defensive touchdown, like there's no reason to ever pick a defense from a high-scoring game.
Right.
Ever.
Okay. Ever.
Why would you?
No.
Why would you? You start with 10 points. You just go down to 4 immediately, and then you just keep going down.
I want to get all of these stupid questions out for the people out there that wonder stupid
These
questions.
are your stupid questions.
Yeah, but it's important that I represent other people's stupid questions, you know, like because that way they don't waste their money.
Yeah, we don't have to pretend like somebody's actually asking.
No, it's happening. It's coming from the Twitter machine right now.
Okay.
What is the next game?
Steelers-Panthers.
This game looks terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, my God.
I mean, DJ Moore is a fantasy darling. He's like an under-the-radar fantasy darling. He does like score points. He's moderately priced, but he's a little banged up now. So, and also you have Darnold throwing to you, so whatever. I like the Steelers defense in this game. That's the only pick I have from this game.
I actually like the Steelers defense as well.
Pickett is maybe playing. Trubisky looked like shit.
Oof, what a tough situation. No thank you to anybody on the offense of either's team.
I mean, maybe DJ Moore. That's the only one, but no, Steelers defense.
I mean, I don't even want to. Is that game even? It barely will make television in Carolina. I mean, waste your time.
I like Foreman on the Panthers and stuff. I just don't see this game being at all exciting.
I don't either. I don't think the NFL does either.
I mean, look at the loser Darnold was playing the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're playing they're basically playing on an empty field when you're playing the Seahawks, and they still I mean, in the Steelers aren't exactly scoring, but Najee Harris comes and goes. Anyway, yeah, Steelers D. Moving on. Cowboys Jaguars. I like this game a lot too.
This is second game of the week, game of the week, part 1A.
Trevor Lawrence would be a respected quarterback if he cut his hair because he's making all the right moves.
You
and he's
guys,
doing good things.
You and Jerry,
yeah,
vehemently upset with T-Law, as I like to call him, and his haircut.
We have been since day one.
Yeah, and he's had it, though, since, day 0.
Right.
And you just hated it since
I will
beginning.
never like it.
Ever like it. I think that it might be one of those things where if he cuts it, he loses his powers. And I know that sounds
It doesn't
stupid.
get longer. He's getting it cut.
I know, which is the stupid part of it, is that it looks like he goes to a salon and gets it cut perfectly. So that bothers me a little bit when you say, can you cut it to my shoulders? That's just my own personal thing.
Yeah. But
you getting me upset. I got it.
But he is playing really good football. They're doing well.
He played like shit at the beginning of the season, but he has come alive.
He didn't, though. Honestly, I think he played. I think because we were expecting him to play, it's the Jaguars. You know, it's the same thing with the Lions. You just kind of are no, these are going to be the shit teams. And then they're actually, they were actually playing well. It's just, everything feels like a fluke until.
Well, a lot of it is, though, he plays from behind, right? So that encourages him to pass the ball, take more downfield chances and things of that nature.
I don't see him playing from behind I think that they're actually legitimately winning games.
Fuck. 47.5 points. That's a high-scoring game, too.
Well, yeah, because look at what the Cowboys did the week before the Texans when they scored, 50-something to 14. Who did they play even?
Next week?
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was
in a
just,
primetime game.
To bring up
they just took a big dump on whoever that was. I can't even remember because it's so embarrassing for them that happened.
The Cowboys, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. It was against the Colts.
It was against the Colts. It was against loser Matty Ice.
54-19.
There it is. And they're Colts Vikings.
Oh, my
plus
God.
4. Get out of town.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's gross.
He's such a loser.
Thank you for bringing that up because I think Colts and the entire city of Indianapolis was trying to get the world to forget it.
Yeah, no. Well, I kind of repressed it from my head, too. I was that's so embarrassing for them.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah. You couldn't be more pathetic.
Their wives didn't talk to them for a long time.
And here's the thing, too, that I like about this game. First of all, Noah Brown is another wide receiver that's finally back. I was taking him because he was 3,100 every week. And then I was all right, fine. But then finally he's gotten in the action. I think coming off of an almost loss to the Texans has got to rattle you a little bit. And now when you're playing the Jags, who are historically kind of a not great team, they got to be preparing as if they're playing themselves. You know what I mean? Because I think that the Jags are an underrated
Yeah, if you're the Cowboys,
team.
This is potentially a trap game.
Right, but that's last week was a trap game just because the spread was plus 14 or whatever. And after watching them demolish the Colts, I was because normally when there's a spread like that, I'm come on. But then I watched the Colts game and I was okay. And then so that felt like a trappy spread. But this is laying 4. I think this could be a very good shootout-y game. Yeah. T.Y. Hilton's back. He signed with the Cowboys. He should be good to go on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
Remember him?
I do remember him.
I'm excited to see him.
I am excited to. You know what? Similar jerseys. White and blue with the Colts, and now white and kind of blue with the Cowboys.
Do you think playing the Colts made them remember T.Y. Hilton?
Probably. They were like, "Who is that guy?"
Who was the guy that they're looking for when they're throwing the ball?
And they were like, "See what he's doing today."
Of course, like Alec Pierce in that stupid game too. Like finally, like I was taking him a lot too. And then loser Matty Ice came back in. He got demoted to like wide receiver 3, and then finally during the Cowboys game, he was like the only saving grace. Sounds like the one time I don't take him. Another kid that has like it's just on the wrong team.
It's just ridiculous.
But yeah, Pollard is like guaranteed 2 touchdowns a game, and Zeke at least gets 1. If Pollard gets 2, Zeke has to get 1, so that's always good. If you're ever like looking for people, but I think Pollard is like always like a weekly.
He's been solid all year too, and we talked about how Zeke has been super inconsistent, but now he's emerging his head, right?
And Evan Ingram, remember him?
Yes.
So he's on the Jags, and he is back in it. I love Evan Ingram.
Tom Coughlin.
I like him a lot this
picked
week,
him up
too.
off the street, right? That's Tom Coughlin runs the Jags. He's the president down there. So I guess he just picked up the giant tight end and brought him down.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
No, but he's doing great. And then that leads us to Chiefs-Texans, which is another Chiefs by 14. Texans coming off almost beating the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Still get no respect.
It's tough, right? Because like you just talked about that game about how the Texans were massive underdogs to the Cowboys, like the Battle of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost 27-23 at Dallas.
Right, and the Chiefs just almost lost to the Broncos.
Right. So when you look at those two comparisons coming into this week,
Chiefs looked, Smith-Schuster is still good. MVS is right back to Green Bay MVS, like when he's just dropping passes, like he's oiling up his gloves. I don't know what he's doing, but like he just can't hold on to the ball. Kelsey even like wasn't, they learned, everybody thinks has learned how to shut down Kelsey now.
For me, I think it's almost like an any given Sunday thing. The Houston is a one-loss team.
It won.
A one-win team.
Yeah,
my
I was
bad.
like
fuck. Yeah. But like, they have like a very unique record in that it's all ones. So I don't know if that like mystically means anything, but like they're 1-11-1.
Mm-hmm.
1. So all I'm saying is, something's going to give this week. One of those ones is going to go.
I'm not going to say like they're going to beat the Chiefs, but I think that they could cover like a 14-point spread. I don't think that they're going to go down by 2 touchdowns. They have a good defense at the very least. And Brandon Cooks is like nothing to sneeze at. And Pierce is like crazy good as a running back.
Right. So I was thinking like there's actually there is some fantasy sports value in guys like Pierce and Cooks anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah, totally.
So it is
the
don't
right
be
game.
surprised if that game is closer than 14 points, and don't be surprised if the Chiefs win by 17, right? Like it's right there.
But I just think that there's definitely like playable people. It's a super high total. I think like Smith-Schuster's always viable. I think that obviously Mahomes is like a quarterback that if you're spending up at quarterback, like it's a good pivot from Hurts. Assuming that he has like the receivers to throw to. Who is in? He loves like all of his tight ends. It's like just tight end. So I was like, who else? Smith-Schuster, and then there's Sky Moore, that kid. Until I'm watching a Chiefs game, I'm like thinking about and then Sky Moore has like 7. I'm like, who's here ruining my day? Sky Moore. So, yes, that's another option from that game.
I've had people with worse names ruin my day.
Zay Jones,
Sky
I
Moore's
like.
a good name.
Zay Jones catches the ball. Chiefs defense isn't also that scary. So, I like Dameon Pierce, Zay Jones, Smith-Schuster, Mahomes, McKinnon.
I'm looking at the next game, Kate, and I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If Russell Wilson can't beat an Arizona Cardinals team at home that doesn't have Kyler Murray.
He put up an impressive game until he got like cracked in the head. Did you see it? Like a knot on the side of his
He got
head.
lit up? No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he got thwacked.
He might not be okay.
No, I don't think he's like, because it's like, it's not in a, it's like in that.
Oh, it didn't hit him
You
in
know-
the temple, right? Got him in like a
No, it got, but he had
hard
like
cut.
but he got, I
like
mean,
a knot.
it's like, like, it looked like one, like in a Looney Tune commercial or cartoon, when it's like, and then like they get bumped on the head. And it's like,
It's crazy is with football, they're like, he's fine. Put him back out.
Well, he stayed, I think he stayed at the game. But yeah, but he was like, and it sucks too, because he was like actually like, doing it.
Does a guy like DeAndre Hopkins just become completely like go from valuable to nothing?
No, he's still not. Like,
D-Hop is still D-Hop, right?
Yeah, and like it's not like I mean, this might be better for him, depending, because maybe what the hell is the name of the? Oh my God, it's gonna drive me nuts. I know this too, but anyway, he studied. Remember when Kyler Murray had to sit out because he didn't study enough?
Yes.
Yeah. So he just came back in. And Kyler Murray's great, but I think like this guy passes more. It might be better for him. I don't think that values anything. Rondale Moore being out is good for like Dortch though. I don't know. I do think that if Kyler Murray hadn't gotten hurt immediately, we'd have seen some different receivers getting more action. But I mean, they still like caught stuff, kind of.
Yes. DeAndre Hopkins has always been ridiculous.
Connor's back. And I thought when Connor kind of went down, I was like, typical Connor. Like, that was like the one person who I was like, well, obviously he's made of glass. But he didn't. He came back in and then like rushed on the Patriots, which is no easy feat. So that's cool. You know who else? What other running back I like on the Broncos? Latavius Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
He has been very productive as of late.
Mm-hmm.
And very under the radar, P.S.
I mean, yeah, but I've been taking him every week because he's cheap.
So not under the radar to Kate because she's been dominating.
Not last week. But he's like $5,000. So he's like a good flex or whatever.
That's funny. I think a lot of people look at Latavius Murray and think like, oh, he's not on New Orleans anymore, so I'm not even going to bother with him.
But he's the only running back that they have. They don't have another running back. So.
Feed me, Seymour. Solid pick.
Yeah.
Worth not a lot of money.
And then Dulcich is like great for tight end. Although he's like, and then Burks is like a sneaky wide receiver because like Sutton might be banged up still. And they both have like hamstring injuries. So, yeah.
So.
And Broncos D I like because it's the Cardinals and look at what happened to them.
And they're struggling right now.
Patriots defense like had so many points.
Yeah, I mean, our next game Sunday at 4:00, Patriots Raiders. Two AFC teams, West versus East, and both of these teams not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, this, for all intents and purposes, even though they're two like around 500 teams, this is going to be a dogfight.
I guess so. It depends on like which Derek Carr you get.
He is Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah. I feel like he's always about to cry.
Yeah. Is he? I think he is.
He has Adams. Like, he has another, like, incredible wide receiver that, like, he could literally just chuck the ball and he'll get it, and he just, like, panics and, like, sits down on the field. It's so weird. And, like, Josh Jacobs, like, so Patriots contain Chubb, like, you know what I mean? Like, they've contained, like, a lot of really good running backs, so the fact that Connor was able to, like, evade them is really impressive, and I'm not sure if it's, like, Connor doing it or if something's wrong with Judon or something. I don't know. But Josh Jacobs, like, I want to say, like, he's always, like, great for fantasy, but I still think that the Patriots are the defense that we've seen all year. And maybe, like, this was, like, an anomaly, not the rule.
So you think the Patriots defense shows up this week?
Like, they did every week except for last week.
Right, so I look at that being the same thing, and Belichick is a genius at that, of looking at an offense and saying, no, they're not going to do the same thing they always do. They have to figure out something else.
Well, what? No, I'm talking about the Patriots defense.
Yes.
And that whenever somebody tries to rush, they stand them up after they've gotten 5 yards, which is why I figured Connor would get not that many rushing yards, so I did not take him as heavily as I would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Patriots defense come together and stop a team from running all over them and force them into beating them in another way. Like in the sense that Belichick.
Right, but I don't think but that's what I'm saying. Like this could be a game that's like what the Saints did to the Raiders, where it's like 40-0.
Yes.
Like, I could see the Raiders not scoring a point, even though they have Devontae Adams.
Because Derek Carr sucks.
Because he can't, he pulls a Tua all the time.
All right.
So it just, depends. But, Adams is, incredible. He should be heavily. But also, if you're going to shut down somebody, you're either going to shut down Jacobs or you're going to shut down Adams.
No, I completely agree.
You know? They have, some other dudes, too. But, again, I just, Carr's so annoying. I can't trust him with anything.
I wouldn't trust him to mow my lawn.
I think that there's better games, but there's definitely something in there. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not targeting that game. Titans Chargers though I like.
Justin Herbert's alive.
Yeah, kind of. I think that Tua made Herbert look good.
You have hurt Tua so bad that
you didn't watch the game. If
no,
you saw what I saw,
I'm gonna.
You should because if you saw, look at. I mean, I don't even know if you could call them highlights because it's just look at most pathetic passes by Tua against the Chargers. I'm sure there's a reel of that because it's just insane or non-passes. It was insane. So I think honestly is Herbert that Dolphins have a solid defense, and but they have all of their weapons back, and then just. Tua couldn't throw the ball, so it wasn't even competitive, So. But I think against the Titans, they have a much stiffer defense to contend with. I think that Henry's going to run all over them. I took Henry last week. I'm taking him again this week.
Yes, I was gonna say I couldn't find the specific stats or highlight clips of Tua, but it said Tua in his press conference said that we were out of whack. Was how he described
we
him
and his 27 voices
we
because everybody else.
Whack.
It seemed like everybody was running the routes. He'll score 2 touchdowns by picking up the ball off the ground and running it in. That's not a we Tua. And I think I'm what? How hard is your head? That's what I'm saying. Who's he talking to in his brain? Who's we?
It's also kind of a dick move when you're the quarterback. You're supposed to take responsibility for the team and be like, "This is on me."
I don't think he could say "I think I came back too early because my brain's bleeding inside." I don't think he can say that.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't think he knows that that's happening.
I mean, he was scared to throw the ball, and his only job in his whole life is to throw the ball.
That's true.
It's like if I got up on stage to do stand up and I was
afraid to speak.
Yeah, and just couldn't talk.
Makes sense.
That's the only thing that you're there to do.
That's so sad, Trevor.
He wasn't even supposed to run. He got 28 rushing. I can't even believe it. But Eckler's always somebody that I try to spend up for. I don't know if I will this week though. But I do love the return of Mike Williams. I took him to get the first touchdown in the game. That was nice. I was it's his first game back.
How many times have you hit on that bet? Guessing the guy. Was that the first time?
I don't normally play it because I think it's just me burning money.
Yeah, it's like a sucker bet.
But I just was it's Williams' first game back. He is so good. And I just had this picture in my head of when he caught an 81-yard, no, 81's his number, but I think it was in the 80s or 70-yard touchdown. Right off the bat, and I was I could see that happening again. And then sure enough, it was it took a minute, but then it was and Williams, and I was there it is. Because it's a storyline bet, It's
it's a Hollywood thing. Yeah. You saw it coming.
It's a game script, if you will.
I like it.
Keenan Allen's back, yeah. The thing is, Herbert is a good quarterback, and now he has all of his weapons. It's sad for people like Carter though and Palmer who are kind of getting the recognition.
Well, you look at,
but they just have so many. Yeah, they can do whatever. They don't have the best defense, but they're good. I like this game a lot.
They're both at 7-6.
Yeah.
You think that they'd be evenly matched up? The matchup. Chargers are slightly favored in the game.
Right. I think this is a good DFS game. also.
Shit ton of guys in the game that get a lot of value.
Okonkwo is like a new tight end that I found that I like. He's on the Titans.
You're like a genius with the amount of names that you can remember in your head. Do you have it written
My
down
therapist,
there?
no.
No.
They think that it's like, no, it's like a problem. I'm like an obsessive.
I actually think that you're a genius.
I don't know.
Well, just listen to me on this one. Trust me.
Everett's getting involved on the Chargers too, but there's too many people to pick from on the Chargers. But I don't think Herbert's a bad quarterback to take this week at all. You heard it here first. And Henry. I think Henry just bulldozes.
So Henry is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a normal human being, and he hasn't shown that he's been normal for like 3
rushed
years.
on them. The Dolphins, all they did was run the ball. It's the only reason why they had points on the board. So I don't think the Chargers, you can stop Henry. I really like Henry in this game. I might do like a Herbert stack with a Henry running back.
All right, so for the record, when you talk about these lineups, you're going to send me the lineup that you submit, and I'm going to throw it into our stories.
God, no. And when you did that, I almost killed you.
Really?
Why would you? I mean, after the game start, fine.
After the games. Oh, how is somebody going to bet on it, though, after the game starts?
Because I don't want somebody to have my lineup. The whole point of, like, I'm telling you, like, people to pick. Like, if I win, I'm not tying with somebody. Are you crazy?
All right, so I'm not going to post anything pre-bet, only post-bet to show your winnings.
Sure, I guess, if you want to. I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm saying, like, what people I'm looking at.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to create a little bit of content out of Unforced Errors, and I wasn't sure what the best way to go about it was.
I'll start making the videos again. Where, like,
sounds good.
Yeah, and then, like, it'll say, like, who we're thinking
I'm not
instead
trying
of
to
just
get
the
stabbed.
jokes.
I know that I'm always 1 second away from getting stabbed. So.
Well, it's just like when you did that, I was like, what are you doing? Like, if anybody took the lineup that I had last week, like, sorry. Like, it was my one very bad week.
It actually worked out then.
My afternoon lineup smashed, but that one was not.
Sabotage.
And not good. That's also because, like, Boyd got injured, like, immediately. Like, I had the right ideas. I just, didn't execute well. I also woke up late.
Story of my life.
But no, you don't want to, like, share your lineup.
No. You don't want to show your cards. I'm an asshole. You've reprimanded me live here on the air in front of negative 500 people. We can, amicably.
But you can post them after.
Thank you. I just need direction, right? That's all I need. I can't make free decisions. I need you.
No, you can make free decisions. Just don't
No, I need direction.
Don't do
I
that.
can't have free thought. I'll work better this way.
Okay.
Excellent. So next game up, Bengals Bucks at Tampa Bay. Brady is a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. The 49ers are a very good defense. So, like, there is that. They've now done it twice in a row where they just, like, murder kill. And the Bengals are also a decent defense, but they're not the 49ers. But I do think that this could finally be, like, the shootout that we've been looking for and waiting for. I mean, Chase is still incredible. Burrow's still good. Higgins might be back. I like Mixon from this game. And then Godwin always. If you're going to take people. But, yeah.
Bucks D sold on, or?
I like Bucks D just because I think that they can, like, if Brady goes to shambles, then it's all on the defense, and they take that role seriously, I think.
I'm with it.
I think that there's better defenses, but if you're, like, looking for, like, a cheaper one, then go Bucks D. Like, Broncos has got to be, like, top of the list.
Yes. Yes. Bucks defense, they have a tough matchup this week, though, because of the run-pass attack that's balanced out of the Bengals.
I guess so, but if you're looking at, like, the games that you would target, like, a defense, Patriots would be one, but they're expensive. I'm saying, like, if you're trying to, like, because I, like,
get turnovers and shit like that.
Sure, and, like, also spend out. And I don't think that this is going to be, like, as exciting or, like, as when I say like a shootout, I just mean like maybe like Brady will have like a glimmer of his own self, but I do think like they're an evenly matched team, so I don't think it's going to be like the highest scoring game.
No, I'm with you on that.
So it's like
it's not like one of like the big, like when we talk about like Lions, Jets, or something.
But also like taking a defense in DFS is like I used to like last season Jets. I would take the Jets defense every week because they were always the cheapest defense, so you get to spend up on like everything else. Like a defense is like unless you take the Browns when they scored 2 touchdowns, you know what I mean, or something like that. Like there's not a total reason to spend $4,000 on your defense, you know.
I completely agree. I can't tell you how many times I picked a defense and they have done nothing and they've cost me, $2 and $3 grand more than I should have paid.
Right. Because like that's the thing. It's like like you have to take a defense.
That's how they get you, to be fair. Like if you get fucked on picking a defense, if you spend too much on any player, then you lose that week. Like that's just how that works. So it doesn't matter if it's a defense, a wide receiver, a tight end, a quarterback, whatever. If you spend too much for a player, there you go. So yeah, please don't blow up my car for putting your post out. Deal?
No, I don't care. It was like it's more embarrassing because it was so bad, but like also just I don't want. I play in like big fields. I don't want to like have the same one.
Yeah, I know. Please don't blow up my car. All right, great. Back to the action.
All right, Sunday night football.
Oh, no. Giants, Commanders.
And Carson Wentz was activated from injury.
Carson Wentz is back?
I don't know if he's back, but he was activated.
He will be. He's like, Mom, Dad, I'll be on the sidelines. He's like Rudy running out of the tunnel. This is for real.
I was like, what's this spread about? And then I saw that, and I was like,
Well, last time the Giants played the Commanders, they tied.
Mm-hmm.
And these two teams come into the game on Sunday Night Football with the exact same record as a result of that tie. The winner of this game will have a real chance at winning the wild card.
Perfect time for them to bring Carson Wentz in then.
The loser, essentially, their season is over at 7-6.
I mean, this will be good because I've literally ignored both of these teams pretty much all season.
It's probably been for the best.
Because I used to love Antonio Gibson, but then there's like the Brian Williams guy came back, and so that kind of cut it. And like it hasn't really been, like Logan Thomas used to be like a cool play. Like he's disappeared. McLaurin hasn't been like.
I feel they have a lot of men on that team
Slayton's
that
been
disappear.
Slayton's been a cool guy.
Yes, he
Barkley's
has.
always like in contention of like running back. Sometimes
solid season out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like he's been what he's supposed to be.
It's everything that you could ask for, ask him to do. But yeah, I mean, this game they're forcing us to watch it. It's one of those games.
Why do they do it though with the primetime games?
They just make it. I feel like they go with like whatever the safest.
But like, I would have rather seen Jets Lions in the primetime slot.
Yeah. I don't think anybody expected Lions.
The Commanders suck. Can we just throw that out there? I don't know.
I think this is a very evenly matched game.
It's a super evenly matched game. The Giants even.
They both have like glimmers. I think that in prime time, this is going to just be a like bang your head against the wall game. Or it could be, no, I think it's going to be a total defensive game. I hate this game already.
Yeah, I hate it too. It made me enraged. Sorry.
Yeah. Rams finally won a game though. Just go to Monday Night Football because we're going to have to watch that. Put out a post about a single game slate when I like get a better read on it because right now I'm just like dreading it. Rams Packers I'm interested in because it's finally my two teams that I've bet against all season, and last week was like the first week that I couldn't because I mean I would have bet against it, but then I'm just saying that they both won, so that's like interesting. I still think the Rams suck. I still think Aaron Rodgers is on another planet. So yeah, but he
is a strange motherfucker, dude. Aaron Rodgers is out there against Matt Stafford.
Is Stafford playing again?
Is he? That's what it has over here. What is this?
Well, Stafford is injured right now. Or he was injured. Is he active now?
No, it says injured reserve.
Mm.
ESPN app in itself is awful because, like, by clicking on the game, it'll just give you a matchup of the players, and it's like shows you that the matchup is Stafford versus Rodgers, but then when you click Stafford, it shows injured reserve.
Right.
Like, it doesn't show any depth chart or anything like this.
I think it's Perkins. Anyway. Yeah.
This is a Green Bay game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go against the Rams. I trust Aaron Rodgers at home over the Rams, who finally won a game without Stafford and Cup, and yeah.
Lambeau in the cold is a different, you know what I mean?
Look, I think that this is going to be another boring ass game that we're forced to watch. This is going to be a defensive match.
Kind of sucks. It seems like there's a lot of boring games out there.
I would take 7 sacks for the Rams if I could.
7 sacks and 7 miles.
But yeah.
You know how fucking boring? The NFL has been awful to us. Thursday night football game slate, Sunday night football, Monday night. It's all so boring. I don't get it.
It's all year.
But mad people have been getting hurt. Like, an unprecedented amount of quarterbacks have gotten hurt this year.
Yes.
And
this week.
And not to mention, I mean,
it's just it's week 15. It is injury season.
And they added another week to the NFL season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that bloodbath.
So, those poor guys that are playing for a playoff spot come week 17, they're basically going to be playing with broken ankles and torn tendons, trying to make their salary.
I mean, it is a lot of players will be coming back, though, which is interesting. So,
well, if you play it right.
Yeah.
What's great is with Daily Fantasy, you can gamble all the way up until the Super Bowl when it comes to this football stuff. And, of course, when we get into our basketball stuff and baseball, it really never ends. That's why Unforced Errors is going to be here until the dawn of the end of time, right? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Exactly right. You could follow Scotch the Cat on Instagram, which you rightfully should. You should also follow Jerry because they give their weekly picks and bets. Jerry's not here to give his get-out-of-jail-free bet, but
I have it. It is Chicago Bears +9, Cowboys laying 4, Chargers laying 3, and Raiders +1.
He took the Raiders.
Yeah, I know.
Why does he always throw one in that
I'm just
you and I are completely against?
Yeah, I'm with you. But
Jerry, if you're listening, you've done it again, sir.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go.
You should be ashamed.
I gotta get up early tomorrow.
All right, we're done. Unforced Errors. Until next time, nobody cares.